Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 99.
I think now is the time, 2025, where we move into true enlightenment, true empowerment. And where does that begin? It's within.
Spend time with the mad ones, the ones who question, the ones who create, the ones with genius and insanity that both scares and delights. They're addicted to the impossible, they're seduced by risk, they're playing reality like a game that only they can play. The mad ones are the chosen ones. They push, they attract, they drag others towards their future. They crawl inside you, show you who you are and who you actually could be. In a mad world, the mad are the only sane ones left.
You can feel something is shifting. Some people are not strong enough to adapt to the change. Some people don't know how to put it into practice in order to go with the change. There will come the time, and it's not going to take long, where a natural separation is going to take place. A natural separation. The ones that are able to read the signs, that are able to go with what is happening, to adapt to the changes this world is bringing to us, they will move on to another world. Other people that are unwilling, unable, maybe incapable of adapting to the coming changes. It is simple like this. They will stay with the old world, which is about to end.
And did you believe in God?
Oh, yes.
Do you now believe in God?
Now, difficult to answer. I know. I don't need to believe. I know.
300 years ago, scientists began peeling back the layers of reality. They found molecules, atoms, particles, electrons, neutrons, protons. They literally uncovered the forces that govern everything. And eventually, in quantum physics, they discovered the unified field, the source of all creation. The unified field isn't just something that you can touch or see. It is nothing. Unmanifest, pure potential, zero-point energy, yet from it, everything emerges. Every atom, every force, every being arises from this oneness. But here's the truth. You can't reach this field by walking to it. You can only get to it by turning inward. You have to transcend thoughts, and then you will experience this infinite. And this is where true creativity, intelligence, love, bliss reside. It's limitless and eternal. This deeper truth is not something that's new. It's literally encoded in the world's wisdom for over a millennium. You look at all of the gods in history, they're all true in gods. They are three in one. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Osiris, Isis, Horus, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Even the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You have the three major religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Three literally represents the forces of creation, active, passive, and neutralizing. It's literally the secret Tesla pointed to with 369. The truant isn't just symbolic, it's the foundation of how everything in the universe operates. And yet everybody's so blind to it because they're too busy following fucking religion, which is why you are a surface dweller. You follow traditions without question. Catholics don't even realize they're worshiping an ancient fish god. It's literally there in the symbols, the architecture.
Mind moving fast is crazy. Mind slow is saint. Mind stopped is God.
So you're saying as you dig deeper, you find computer code writ in the fabric of the cosmos?
Into the equations that we want to use to describe the cosmos, yes.
Computer code.
Computer code, strings of bits of ones and zeros.
I say that God is within you. The power and the potential that you need to be successful and prosperous are within you, and you have to work with that.
You believe in God?
Yes, I believe in God.
But
I believe that God is within the individual. I do not believe that God is apart from man. I do not believe that God is a big man in the sky. I believe that God is the big man within me and you and you. God is the big man within everyone, not a big man in the sky. I am God appearing as me. And this is true of everyone. I teach this to everyone. You are God appearing as you. But in the one God, which is really consciousness or self-awareness, every man is God of his own experience. But you see, this is another thing. People do not like to accept self-responsibility. People like to have a convenient devil that they can blame when they are lazy and don't do what they could do for themselves. And it only goes to show you that human nature says that, well, I got to have a scapegoat. But in this philosophy, there is no scapegoat. It's
You have to become the version of you that already has what you desire before you get it. The vision of the life you want is your highest potential. The version of you that achieved that is the highest version of yourself. Think about the habits and characteristics this version of you has and become that person. How does this person respond in certain situations? How does this person think? How does this person feel? How does this person dress? What are the habits of this person? What is the mental state of this person? Think of all these things. Remind yourself throughout the day to act and feel like the highest version of you. If you are in a situation, ask yourself, how would the highest version of myself respond in this situation? How would the highest version of myself feel in this situation? And then act and feel accordingly. Be aware of how you talk about yourself and how you talk to yourself in your mind. Talking about you or talking to you in a negative way will produce the corresponding emotions. Thoughts that are felt make their way into your subconscious mind, the creative force that controls your life. Your subconscious mind, unlike the conscious mind, has no power to reject what is impressed upon it. It has to bring it into physical form. Thoughts are frequencies. Once a thought enters your subconscious mind, the energy of that thought's frequency gets passed onto your sympathetic nervous system. This energy is now a part of your DNA and affects your vibration. Your vibration attracts things to you that are in harmony with it.
6 positive affirmations about yourself on a piece of paper. I am powerful. I am great. I am worthy. I can do it. I will achieve greatness. All these things. Write them down. And then you're going to read them out loud to yourself 3 times a day with energy and power and meaning and conviction. And then you're going to replicate that for 9 days in a row. By the 9th day, your DNA is in the beginning stages of being rewritten. You duplicate it again. You repeat that same process. By the 3rd time through this process, or the 3rd set of doing this, all of a sudden your DNA is completely rewritten. And this has been scientifically proven. By using this technique, you actually can begin to rewrite your DNA and even deactivate genes that are not good for you and activate genes that are good for you. Your body now has shifted into a whole new frequency. Your cells begin to celebrate as you move into a whole new direction.
You are not who you think you are. You are not merely a name, not a body, not a personality confined to its fleeting likes and dislikes. No, you are something far more mysterious, far more immense. You are the universe itself, playing at being you. Imagine for a moment that the universe, this vast, infinite, boundless thing, was bored. It had seen it all, done it all. Stars bursting, galaxies spinning, the cosmic dance unfolding in perfect rhythm. And yet there was no one to notice, no one to marvel at the beauty. So the universe decided to play a game. It divided itself. It fragmented, splintered into countless forms. Trees, rivers, animals, stars, and yes, you. But in this game, it gave each fragment a peculiar gift: forgetfulness. It allowed each part to forget that it was part of the whole. And so here you are, walking through life, believing yourself to be this separate me. You feel joy, you feel sorrow, you love, you lose, you laugh, you cry, and through it all you ask, why? Why must I suffer? Why must I endure? But what if I told you that every joy, every sorrow, every tear shed, and every triumph won is the universe experiencing itself through you? Your pain is its pain. Your ecstasy, its ecstasy. When you gaze at the stars in awe, that is the universe marveling at its own magnificence. When your heart breaks, that too is the universe breaking so that it might know the bittersweet beauty of love lost. You see, the universe is not something out there, separate from you. It is you. It flows through your veins, beats in your heart, and dances in your thoughts. It speaks through your voice, laughs through your joy, and weeps through your sorrow. The trick, my friend, is to remember, to awaken from the dream of separateness, to see that your suffering is not some cosmic punishment, but rather the price of admission to this grand play. Without sorrow, how could you know joy? Without darkness, how could you see the stars? When you understand this, when you truly, deeply understand it, suffering loses its sting. You stop resisting life. You stop fighting against the tides, the twists, the turns. Instead, you flow. You surrender. You allow yourself to be the vessel the conduit through which the universe experiences itself. And in that surrender, a great freedom arises. You are no longer the victim of life. You are its partner, its co-creator. You begin to see that every moment, no matter how mundane or painful or glorious, is a miracle. So, my dear friend, let go. Let go of the illusion of control, the belief that you must fight and struggle and strive. Trust the flow. Trust that the universe knows what it is doing, even when you do not. For you are not a drop in the ocean, as they say. You are the ocean in a drop. You are the infinite in the guise of the finite. And when this life is over, you will return to the whole, carrying with you the richness of every experience, every triumph, every tear. And then perhaps you will decide to play the game again.
One slow, steady breath. And as you slowly follow your breath and you contract those intrinsic muscles, as you follow your breath and you bring that breath all the way up to that pineal gland, and you hold your breath and you keep your attention on that pineal gland, that's your target. The act of contracting those muscles, along with the holding of your breath, would begin to push cerebrospinal fluid right up into your brain. And as you begin to hold your breath, you're pushing that cerebrospinal fluid right up against the crystals of the pineal gland and applying a mechanical stress. And then the mechanical stress begins to electrically activate those crystals. And when those crystals become electrically activated, we are turning on the radio receiver in the brain.
You wish to write your own ticket from here on out for the remainder of your life, I will describe for you in these simple instructions. 1, write down a clear description of your major desire in life. The one circumstance or position or thing which you will be willing to accept as your idea of success. And remember before you begin writing that your only limitations are those which you set up in your own mind or permit others to set up for you. And 2, write down a clear statement of precisely what you intend to give in return for that which you desire from life. And then start in right where you stand now to begin giving. And 3, memorize both of your statements, what you desire and what you intend to give in return for it. And repeat them at least a dozen times daily. And always end your statements with this expression of gratitude for the blessings with which you were gifted at birth. I ask not for divine providence or more riches, but more wisdom with which to accept and use wisely the riches I received at birth in the form of the power to control and direct my mind to whatever ends I desire.
Being Christian does not mean that you are spiritual. Being Christian simply means that you are institutionalized into believing the colonial form of religion, which has to do with church leadership, and your allegiance to a system gives you access to God. Whereas in spirituality, you don't need anything between you and the soil. You don't need anything between you and the water. You don't need anything between you and the air. You are as directly connected to your divine space, being, and expression. As an individual, you are a cosmos on your own. You are, and even the Bible, I wish I could start theology from scratch. Because the same Bible would then go on to say, your bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit, the temples of God. And if your body is the temple, then why are you going to church? Because you're already in church. As it were, the very thing you're going to be looking for in a building, the Bible then says, it is in you. The kingdom of heaven is in you. And then it says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. What does that mean? The first definition, the kingdom is in you. The second one, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. Where is the kingdom? If the kingdom is in me, and I am the kingdom, then I must seek first the kingdom of heaven within me, and its righteousness, rightful living in harmony with everything else. And then everything else that you're seeking for will be added unto you. So this whole external view of divinity being in the skies and being in the heavens is totally a confused concept of Christianity trying to interpret spirituality. Because then spirituality says everything is internal, it's within. And when you go from inside yourself, you will find everything that is inside is also outside. So everything will be added unto you. You will finally be in harmony with everything else that you are looking for. So therefore, for me, the highest form of spirituality are the Bushmen and the Aborigines who build nothing, own nothing, but have everything. The bush is their pharmaceutical. The trees are their friends. The animals are their relatives. And they just walk and live in the abundance of everything. And no one can claim that I own, this land is mine, this whole selfish thing, this is mine, then you must put a boundary there, you can't cross here, you can't cross there, and then you end up with all these borders, which becomes a politics of spirituality, where we now begin to restrict natural living. So Christianity has a short leg, which does not touch the ground, as it is actually planning to run to heaven instead of living on earth.
The actual experience of God, what is that? How one achieves that?
Maybe I could quote one of the Sufis, Sheikh Abdullah Ansari. He was an Afghan Sufi. And he said, I was looking for God, and all that I found was myself. And then I looked for myself, and I found God. Now that is really the answer. Like where are you going to find God if it's not, in the human being? So instead of thinking of God as other than oneself, one realizes that God is coming through, is manifesting and actuating himself. But it is our notion of ourselves that stands in the way of this, of the bounty of this being coming through.
Do not look away when challenges come. You don't blame yourself if at that moment in time you are not able to face it. The only thing you're gonna do is you step back, you take time for yourself, you invest the work and prepare yourself to return.
Ladies and gentlemen of the class of '99.
No more religions, no more control, and set your mind free.